Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fenwick and Trinity High School Virtual College Fair. And thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so the panelists cannot see nor hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/blazers. With that being said, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter. So if our presenter from Denison University could join us.
Absolutely, thank you. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Should be good to go. Hello, thank you for choosing this section. First off, my name is Blaine. I am here on behalf of Denison University. I am, let's see, this is my first college fair virtually, unlike everybody else who's been doing it for a year. So hopefully everything goes well. It's hard to make it personalized and answer questions. So please don't hesitate to put them in the Q&As at the end of this, and I'd be happy to circle back to you. In order to kind of cover what I feel like is important in the first 5 minutes or so, I tried to pull out a few things that I thought made Denison different or unique compared to peer institutions. So I'm going to talk about our location, our academics, and our student body. So the first thing, our location. Denison is located in Granville, Ohio. It is a great college town. So campus sits up on a hill. It feels a little bit secluded from downtown, but our students are often walking downtown. They can use your ID, swipe it at the frozen custard shop. They enjoy our restaurants, our shops, fairs, festivals, farmers market, and vice versa. Our community members have a really great time coming to campus, going to athletic events, the concerts, plays, and you'll see them on campus quite a bit as well. So it gives it that good homey vibe. With that though, I usually say when you're doing the college search process, oftentimes with small private liberal arts colleges, you feel like you drive into an hour into the middle of nowhere, you pass a Speedway and a McDonald's and you get there off the grid and you wonder, where the heck did you bring me? Denison is not that way at all. So the great thing is we're about 25 minutes from the airport in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus is the 14th largest city in the US. A lot of great opportunities professionally for our students. We're finding that they're interning, job shadowing, networking. More and more students post-graduation are staying in and around Columbus just because there are so many opportunities with headquartered companies, but also startups. So professionally speaking, having the city in your backyard is a fantastic opportunity. Wherever you go though, I always say you're there for an education, but you also have to have fun. You only get college for 4 years, hopefully. So also having Columbus personally, we have a hockey team, we have a minor league baseball team. There's lots of really cool pockets of neighborhoods to explore. I am a foodie, I love eating, and we have some fantastic restaurants. So it's the best of both worlds, and why location is one of my favorite things. You get the small town college vibe, but you also have the city, which you guys are used to right in your backyard. My second favorite thing about Denison is the academic programs. So oftentimes when I'm talking to students who are looking at liberal arts colleges, you think kind of the basic, just basic things like English, for example, because we're liberal arts. Denison's faculty and staff has done a fantastic job of really kind of evaluating what does the workforce look like today? What are employers looking for? What are the skill sets? And then what are the jobs you're applying to post-graduation? So some of my favorite programs as examples, data analytics, global commerce, we have neuroscience, organizational structures. You could do a earth and environmental studies, a lot of options. One of the cool Denison seminars that we did prior to the pandemic was global health, which is super relevant. And now that our students are applying to jobs in the market, the research that they did throughout the past year has been amazing to see. So again, one of my second favorite things is the innovative academic programs on campus. My third favorite thing is kind of our student body population. So one thing that I hear oftentimes is, I'm afraid to look at a small school because I don't want to go to school with a bunch of students who look like me and think like me. Or on the opposite side of that is, I don't want to go to a school with students where there's nobody that looks like me. Denison is made up of about 2,300 students on campus. We come from all 50 states, 56 countries. We are 20% domestic students of color and 20% international students. So it's a great global perspective on campus. You get the Midwest nice, but you don't feel like you're in the Midwest in the central Ohio when you're on campus. So it's a really great kind of snapshot of the global world and what you're going to get post Denison. I would be remiss if I didn't kind of talk about some of the academics and things in terms of applying. So we have a 28% admission rate. We have 3 application cycles. So we have 2 early decision rounds, which is early decision 1 in November, early decision 2 in January, and then our regular decision round in January as well. We have a test optional policy. We took that about 15 years ago now. So we were one of the first colleges. So if you feel like you're a great student, your transcript is a great reflection of you as a student and as an applicant, but your test scores just aren't quite there, especially this year when students had limited opportunities to take them, that is more than okay. There is no question mark on our side. You don't have to do anything in its place. You just select the test optional box and we review you as an applicant without that piece. And finally, we do offer merit scholarships for all of our students who apply. Everybody is considered automatically. We do meet full demonstrated need in addition to the merit scholarships with the CSS profile and the FAFSA. Again, this is just a quick snapshot of what Denison offers. My 3 favorite things: location, academics, and the student body. And if there's anything else I can answer beyond that, I look forward to connecting with you. I'm gonna turn my screen off here. Let the next school go.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you so much, Denison University. Next up, we're going to have our representative from Dickinson College.
Hi, everyone. Rylan Good, Associate Director of Admission here at Dickinson, coming to you live from my apartment. And no, I did not just buy a red bike just because our colors are red. So if you keep driving a little bit further east, past Denison, you'll land in Dickinson. So we're in central Pennsylvania. But very similarly, so I just wanted to kind of make sure that we're on the same page of kind of the size of Dickinson and kind of that baseline knowledge. So Dickinson, we have around 2,400 students. So your average class size at Dickinson will be about 14 students per class, with the student to faculty ratio of 8 to 1. 45 different majors, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because you can find them on our website. But very similarly to Blaine, I wanted to kind of talk about what makes Dickinson distinctive. So as I was thinking about what to present about, I'm going to talk about our history, our international engagement, and then our commitment to sustainability. So if you're a history buff out there, you'll be glad to know that Dickinson was actually the first college chartered once the United States became an official country back in 1783. So we were actually founded by Dr. Benjamin Rush, a signer of the Declaration of Independence. And so Old West is our oldest building on campus. But as you turn the corner at Old West, you're going to land at this global signpost. And so even though Dickinson is located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, we actually operate 18 global programs in 15 different countries. And so this means that we make study abroad really accessible, landing us in the #2 spot by Princeton Review for most popular study abroad programs. So around 65% of Dickinsonians end up studying abroad. If you want to study the STEM fields, about 50% of our STEM students study abroad. And then if you are a student athlete, about 60% of our student athletes end up studying abroad. So we try to make it really, really accessible. But also with global engagement, something that makes us a little unique is that we do require all of our students to study a world language. And again, fun fact, Dickinson was actually the first college in the United States to offer modern world languages back in 1790. But unlike a lot of high schools that only offer about 3, maybe 4 languages, Dickinson is proud to offer 13 world languages. So maybe you want to pick up Arabic or Japanese or Hebrew. You can do that at Dickinson, even if you don't have any prior experience in that world language at your high school. So whenever you think about Dickinson, I really want you to think about global engagement, whether that be studying abroad, world languages, or the international student population that we have on our campus. The second thing I want you to think about, whenever I talk with high school juniors and seniors, and I ask them, what is the greatest issue facing your generation? 9 out of 10 times they're going to say climate change. And so what I'm really proud to say is that last year, Dickinson became the 8th college and university in the United States to officially go carbon neutral. So what this means is that Dickinson as an institution is not contributing to climate change. And that's actually landed us in the #1 spot in the entire country for our sustainability efforts. But my favorite part of Dickinson's campus is actually about 6 miles off of campus. It is our 180-acre college farm. And so our students grow 500,000 pounds of USDA organic certified food. They set up at the farmer's market every Wednesday, and you're going to find the cutest animals out at the farm. And so at Dickinson, another unique requirement is that we do require all of our students to take a sustainability related course. Maybe you're an artist, you could take wheelwork ceramics, where the professor is going to talk about renewable mediums that you can use or materials. Maybe you're really interested in business. You could take business and climate change. So we want to layer on top of whatever academic program you choose to study at Dickinson with a sustainability focused course. And that's just because we think that it's a crisis that's going to need addressing. And then my final 2 slides really talks about where a Dickinson education is going to get you. So 98% of our students are employed or in grad school within a year of graduating. If you're thinking about medical school, we have a 95% acceptance rate in medical school, and law school, 94% acceptance rate. If you want to go abroad after your time at Dickinson, we're a top 10 Fulbright liberal arts college in the country, and also a top Peace Corps volunteering producing college as well. So no matter what you end up coming to Dickinson to study, we know that you'll go out and be successful in whatever career path that you choose. And then finally, admissions and financial aid. And so we also have 3 deadlines: early decision 1, early decision 2, and regular decision. This year, Dickinson was one of just a handful of liberal arts colleges to switch from test optional to test blind. So what that means is that even if students submitted tests this year, we did not look at them. Even if a student submitted a 1600 on the SAT, we didn't look at it. And so, so we are test blind for this cycle. We will potentially return to test blind or test optional for next cycle. And then finally, in terms of scholarships, we offer between $15,000 and $35,000 in merit scholarships. And we also meet 100% of demonstrated financial need through a combination of those merit scholarships and need-based aid. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll put my email in there. And if you have any questions, I'll talk to you there.
Thank you so much to our representative from Dickinson College. Next up, if I could have our representative from Kenyon College.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for your time and attention here this afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. My name is Jack Iyer. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions here at Kenyon, and I work with students from the state of Illinois. So that is you all. I'm happy to be able to connect with you here this afternoon and tell you a little bit about Kenyon. So Kenyon, we were founded in 1824. We were actually the oldest college we're in the state of Ohio, oldest liberal arts college. And we are a smaller liberal arts college where we like to say that learning is very much viewed as kind of a challenging and deeply rewarding activity to be shared in a sense and spirit of collaboration. So when you think about the types of students that enroll at Kenyon, you'll find that students very much make kind of a conscious and deliberate decision to live and to learn and to grow at Kenyon. And at the same time, our faculty that teach at Kenyon are very invested in connecting with their students as well. And so they very much share in that sense of collaboration. So that is very much at the forefront of life, both inside and outside the classroom at the college. With that, we are actually located, we have a hilltop campus. We are in central Ohio. And we're fully residential, so you will live on campus for all 4 years during your time at Kenyon. And the biggest feature about the campus is that we're anchored by what we call middle path. And it's essentially a mile-long kind of path through the middle part of campus, and it connects all the buildings on the college's campus. And so everything from residence halls or the library or Pierce Hall, which is our dining hall, everything of that sort, you'll find everything kind of connected to middle path. So very much, again, in that sense of togetherness and community. Where our students are coming from. So we have just under 1,700 students in total, again, purely undergraduate students. Our students are coming from all 50 states domestically, as well as over 40 different countries. And so this gives you a sense of where our students are coming from and kind of the driving distance, as well as where we are in Ohio as well. Areas of study, I won't go deep into this as you can kind of find more on our webpage, but here gives you kind of a brief snapshot of all of our different academic departments that we have at the college. One of the things that you'll find at Kenyon is that all of our class sizes, regardless of the classes that you take, so whether it's physics or dance or economics or anything in between, they are going to be more on the smaller side because our classes are very much oriented in a way where you are going to be engaging in discussion-based learning, right? Our students take a very active role in their learning. And a lot of times our professors are very much creating their curriculum in a way that incorporates students' input. And so if you're the type of student that very much likes to engage with your peers and with your professors in the classroom, then regardless of the types of classes you'll be taking at Kenyon, you'll find that that's very much a part of the kind of academic layout, if you will. Our students take a very active role in learning outside the classroom as well. A lot of ways in which that takes shape is through things like on-campus jobs or internships, things of the sort. And one of the most popular ways that our students do that is through the Kenyon Review literary magazine. Kenyon has a significant kind of tradition within the literary world and prestige in the literary world. And so a lot of times students interested in publishing or English will choose to work with the Kenyon Review, which is a campus publication. And students can work as associates kind of in collaboration with the staff at the Kenyon Review. At the same time, students interested in art oftentimes will connect with the Gun Gallery, which is our very own professional art museum that's located on campus that students can take advantage of as well. For those of you that might be interested in the STEM fields, you'll find that there are plenty of opportunities to engage in different levels of research, oftentimes through a program called Summer Scholars. And this is actually, in summary, kind of a program where you'll live on campus during a summer, during your time at Kenyon, and you'll be working very closely with a professor within your particular field, as well as other students that you're researching and collaborating with. And you'll receive a stipend from the college to support your living expenses. And you're doing very much that hands-on type of research that, again, spans many different departments and disciplines on campus. Another kind of neat feature in taking advantage of where we are located in Central Ohio is Kenyon is very proud to partner with a lot of locally sourced farms and different populations that have locally sourced foods. And so the college puts immense amount of effort into purchasing local food that we feature in our dining hall. And so within a 50-mile radius of campus. So that's something that our students very much enjoy and that you'll be able to very much notice during your time when you're eating on campus. Kenyon is also, there's many opportunities to engage outside the classroom. A lot of ways in which students do that one way to do that is through athletics. And so, particularly our swimming and diving team has historically enjoyed significant success, but all of our teams across the board compete at a very high level within Division III. And so we are a Division III institution. The types of schools that we compete against in our division are other schools actually represented on this call, as well as other small liberal arts colleges through the Midwest as well. The performing arts is very huge at Kenyon as well. You'll find that any types of acting or theater performances, music, visual arts, anything in that sort, these are all very popular options and ways in which students are involved outside the classroom. And so that's very much the type of thing where you also don't have to be a major in, say, theater or dance or music in order to pursue these opportunities. So if you wanted to be a chemistry major and play saxophone in the jazz ensemble, you are more than able to do so. And that's kind of a core feature of time at the college. And then lastly, just kind of one last piece here, you'll find all of these different books are actually related to our literary tradition. These are all these authors are alums of Kenyon. So just kind of a last little fun fact there. So with that, I'm happy to answer any further questions that you might have in the future. And again, thank you so much to everyone for your time.
Thank you so much to our representative from Kenyon College. Now, if I could have the representative from Miami University join me.
Hi there. This is Heather Chase. I'm from Miami University, and I'm going to start with a few minutes talking about Miami. I'm going to share my screen here. Just 1 minute. and we will get started talking about Miami. So we are Miami University. We are a public school in Southwest Ohio. And my name's Heather, and I am an associate director for enrollment at Miami. I'm also a Miami alum, so I can talk to many angles of Miami for you. We certainly, those of you from Fenwick, we certainly see tons of applications from you guys and some from Trinity as well. So it's great to have you here. And I miss being at your school and having groups of people being in front of me. So it's good to see you virtually, but I look forward to the day that I can come back and see you in person. So to tell you a little bit about Miami, we are a public school in Oxford, Ohio, which is about 5 hours south of Chicago. One thing I love about virtual presentations is just the ability to show you tons of pictures. So we've got a lot of images to show you of our campus. And then of course, too, if you have a chance to come down and visit us, we'd love to see you on campus as well. Just to show you a little bit about our campus overall, we are a mid-sized school. We are just a little bit west of Kenyon, and we are located in a little town that's really more of a college town, Oxford, Ohio. Miami is the main attraction in Oxford, and our 17,000 undergrad students make up a big part of the Oxford population. So 17,000 undergrads and roughly 2,000 graduate students. So there really is a unique focus at Miami on undergrad education. Our professors are there because they teach undergrad students and they're passionate about students, getting their feet wet in certain subjects. You won't see a lot of graduate students or teaching assistants at Miami. You'll have mostly professors teaching your classes, and your professors will know you. It's a very, for a school of our size, it's a very undergraduate focused and very, rich classroom academic experience for you. Also, population-wise, just because you guys are coming from out of state and we are a public school, please be aware that Miami's student population, about half of our students are from outside of Ohio. So we do, because we're public, we do draw quite a few students from the state of Ohio, but additionally, about half of our students are from outside of Ohio and some even from outside of the US. So it's a cool population. It's a really fun place to be a part of. Academically speaking, we are, again, recognized for undergrad teaching, undergrad education. We are a liberal arts institution as well. And I know others have discussed that on the panel today. We're probably the biggest of the undergrad or liberal arts institutions on today's panel. We do require that you complete our Global Miami Plan, which is our liberal arts core curriculum, in addition to your major. So you have a lot of exposure to a variety of subjects. You can certainly bring in minors into your degree plan. You can bring in co-majors, and then of course you'll have a regular major as well. But it's just, Miami's a really cool place to end up if you do have a lot of different interests you want to study. If you, have English interests, but then you also want to do political science, but then you also might want to bring business into the equation, or you like regular sciences, just a lot of cool combinations you can follow at Miami and a lot of neat ways to be able to do that and kind of customize your degree. We have a great study abroad program as well that, we could spend hours talking about study abroad. Miami has our own campus in Luxembourg. So a lot of our students will go to Luxembourg to study for a semester or for the summer or for the month of January as an option to study abroad. But outside of Luxembourg, we literally have Miami students in 90 different countries every semester. So we really have a great option for you to go abroad in any major. I mean, I think there are those obvious majors where you, of course, would go abroad, but then outside of that, there are the not so obvious majors where Miami students tend to really have great options for going abroad as well. Another thing we're really well known for is undergraduate research. So we have a great science area and great pre-med curriculum for those of you who might be interested in going on to medical school or dental school or physical therapy, et cetera. But really, again, just like study abroad, there are those majors that lend themselves to research that seem like really obvious research areas, biology, chemistry. But then we also have research going on in education and in business and in, some really unique situations where you can be a part of a research study or a research project and, add that to your resume in addition to your majors and potential minors. So yeah, just a lot of cool ways to customize your education and a lot of neat combinations at Miami. Of course, we have multiple academic divisions, our College of Creative Arts, our College of Arts and Science, Engineering and Computing, those all seem pretty obvious, right? Education and Health, and then our Farmer School of Business. The Farmer School of Business and the Nursing Department are both a little bit more selective. They both are direct admission programs where, you're applying and you're getting directly admitted. The rest of our majors outside of business and nursing, once you're admitted to Miami, you're just into those majors automatically. The only exception to those is our College of Creative Arts. If you are thinking about art or architecture or music, theater, those often require either a portfolio and an audition to be a part of those programs. But otherwise, pretty robust curriculum. And I think just a good way at Miami to come in and get started right away in your major. You know, if you're into engineering and you come to Miami, you're going to start engineering right away as a freshman, you know, and we want to get your feet wet in there and kind of make sure that you have good exposure to the field. Of course, you'll see a list of our majors here, which I'll give you a second to peek at, but you can, of course, also find those on our website. And then just finally, we have some great honors opportunities for you. If you're a junior this year and thinking about applying next year, keep an eye on our application because when you're filling it out, it'll ask you, are you interested in the honors programs at Miami? And if you say yes, then an honors program application will be sent to you. That's the only kind of separate application we have at Miami is to the honors programs, and it's one additional essay question. But outside of that, you know, just regular Common App, your transcripts, potentially test scores, and you're good to go with an application to Miami. So just to wrap things up, I will throw my contact information in the chat and, you know, information if you want to receive additional information on Miami, I'll throw that out there too, and we should be all set. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our representative from Miami University. Next up, we have DePauw University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Julia Michaels. I'm going to share my screen and present. I'm an admissions counselor and alum from DePauw. I specifically work with students at Fenwick and Trinity, so I'm really excited to be here sharing a little bit more about our institution. So like many of our panelists here, we're a liberal arts institution. We're a private school located in Greencastle, Indiana. For those of you that kind of know where that is, it's about 45 minutes west of Indianapolis, but about 3.5 hours from Chicago. We're just shy of 2,000 students. The majority of our students find themselves in the College of Liberal Arts, but we also have the 6th oldest school of music in the US. So if you're interested in majoring in music performance, music education, musical arts, you can join our School of Music Conservatory, which is amazing. And we have about 120 students in that program. You'll see that our students come from 39 different states and 39 different countries. So you are going to experience a diverse array of perspectives while on campus. We're also a Division III institution with 23 varsity teams, and about 30% of our students are actually student athletes at DePauw. So it's really nice that you can have the best of both worlds when it comes to competing at the varsity level while also still, you know, pursuing whatever academic interests you have. Like I said, we're a university, so we have 2 schools. College of Liberal Arts, we see a lot of our students involved in, but you'll also see that we have 4 School of Music degree programs. I know that's a pretty thick yellow line between the 2, but trust me, the division between our 2 kind of separate schools is by no means rigid. If you're a School of Music student, you can take any of our classes in the College of Liberal Arts and vice versa. So if you're a political science major, you can still take any music lessons, any music theory classes, music history, things like that, which is really exciting. DePauw has 49 different majors, 56 different minors. You can also create your own major. So don't hit the panic button if you don't see exactly what you're looking for. A lot of students come to DePauw and end up creating their own major through our interdisciplinary degree program, which is great. I've included top 10 majors just so you guys can kind of see the variety that our students explore while they're at DePauw. These range from some amazing STEM programs, but also things like English writing, kinesiology, global health, so a lot of cool options for our students. I think one of the biggest things though, when it comes to the liberal arts is experiential learning and kind of how do you continue learning outside of the classroom? And really for DePauw, that means co-curriculars and extracurriculars. We really try to extend the opportunities to each and every single student, starting by the way we formulate our academic calendar. So we have what we call a January and May term. So we have 2 normal semesters like any other institution that run the same amount of time, but we've also included 2 one-month terms happening in January and happening in May. And this is just an extended timeline to explore more of your interests. So maybe you want to do a 3-week study abroad trip. Maybe you want to do some research on campus. Maybe you want to have an internship or take just 1 class. We encourage students to really take full advantage of our winter and May terms, as it's a great time to maybe explore something outside of your major or something you've always had an interest in. Again, though, experiential learning can happen any moment during your 4 years at DePauw. As a solely undergraduate institution, we see tons of faculty-student research right here on our campus. Additionally, we're ranked number 4th in the nation for the number of students that participate in our study abroad programs. We're also ranked number 7th in the nation for making those trips affordable. So if you've ever dreamed of going to any of the 7 continents, we have different programs there for our students. What's really popular though is taking a 3-week trip somewhere. It's still long enough to be immersive, but you're not actually living in that country. So it's a really cool opportunity to learn about a new culture. Additionally, internship opportunities at DePauw, about 90% of students graduate with at least one internship. We have access to 35,000 plus alumni from DePauw, so you'll definitely be able to form connections and be able to network. And we really want students to have that real world experience before graduating. Continuing on with a little bit more of our campus life, we're a 100% residential campus. So you live on campus all 4 years, like most of the other institutions here. DePauw students are heavily involved, and we have 120 clubs and organizations to choose from. So we find students involved in Greek life, student media, student government, different affinity groups, and even just fun clubs like intramural volleyball, cooking club, yoga club, things like that. I mentioned our Division III sporting events. This is an awesome picture from our favorite game of the year, the Monon Bell game, where we play our rival Wabash. So we have a lot of school spirit here at DePauw, which is really fun culture to be a part of. On the creative side of things, we have over 200 concerts, art shows, performances, and speaker series a year. So we are not only creating amazing productions, but we're also bringing in world-class speakers and artists to our campus as well. Finally, I always like to talk about wellness. This is a really crucial part to having success in college. Through DePauw Health, we have different mental counseling services, different doctor services if you ever need to speak with someone. We really pride ourselves on having support and guidance throughout your 4 years at DePauw, through our mentorship program, through your academic advisors. So we want to make sure all students feel supported here on campus. Finally, I'll mention just some of our outcomes. I actually graduated just this past May as a class of 2020. So these are my peers. So these are some of the things that they're up to. I'll leave my contact information in the chat, but if you ever have any questions about DePauw, please let me know.
Thank you, Julia, for talking to us a little bit about DePaul. Last but not least, we had the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. So if our rep can join us, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Rachel Tanner. I'm the National Recruitment Coordinator for the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. I'm excited to be here. I work specifically with out-of-state students. We are the land grant flagship institution for the Minnesota system campuses, and we're located right in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So high-level statistics, we are a large school. We're going to have 31,000 undergraduate students. We're tier 1 for research, 900 student groups, 200 student cultural centers, Division I sports, part of the Big Ten Conference, the Go Gophers. And again, we're right in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So it's a really unique combination for students who are interested in that Big Ten college experience, but want to maintain an urban environment. This is the main part of our campus you can see here. If you catch that train 10 minutes one way, you can see the downtown skyscrapers of Minneapolis. 20 minutes the other way is the downtown of St. Paul, which is Minnesota's capital. So you're really nestled between Minnesota's 2 largest cities, making it easy to get internships, to go catch a concert, a baseball game. But once you're on campus, you're definitely going to feel that Big Ten experience. We work to bring students breadth and depth academically. So we offer 150 majors, over 130 minors across our 8 freshman admitting colleges. We also have a number of graduate and professional programs on campus. So if you're somebody who's considering law school, medical school, veterinary school, OT, PT, we can start giving you that pre-health, pre-law advising right away your freshman year. That way we'll make sure that you're on track academically for medical school, but also taking advantage of the other opportunities on campus, like doing volunteering at the hospital on campus or one of the surrounding hospitals. Maybe doing a study abroad program just for pre-med students, or participating in research. Being Minnesota's land grant research institution, 90% of the research happening in the state actually happens right on our campus. So you can certainly participate in that as an undergraduate student, whether that's pairing up with a faculty member or submitting your own research proposal. If there's a question you've always wanted the answer to, submit that and we'll give you the funding to do the research yourself. Despite our large size, we do try to keep those class sizes small. So 80% of all classes are 50 students or less. 60% of all classes are 30 students or less. So your major classes are going to feel more like 30 to 40 students. The big classes, those are generals, because you want to make sure you have access to them, you can get through them and then get into your major. But we're always going to pair those with a discussion or lab. So you'll always have a breakout session to just cover what was taught in lecture, have the chance to ask questions or get help on something. Now, when we admit you to the University of Minnesota, we admit you into one of our 8 freshman admitting colleges. We do this for a couple of reasons. First, for those students who know exactly what they want to study, that way you have access to the program of your choice. If you're still exploring, that's okay too. I was completely undecided when I started at Minnesota. Each college has their own first-year experience program that's really designed to help you explore the majors within that college, but also career opportunities. So for the College of Science and Engineering, for example, we partnered with 3M to create that. So you can take the fundamental courses you need for all engineering programs, but also talk to professionals and figure out which major is ultimately the right fit for you before you declare in your second year. The other reason we do is just so you can start accessing those classes and you're coming into a smaller community. And again, we understand we're large institutions, and this will start you off surrounded by students who are interested in studying some of the same things you are. So with our location and our programs, big majors that I see coming from out of state are, of course, our engineering programs, anything in the medical sciences, neuroscience, genetics, our direct entry nursing. Some of my favorites and that I see quite a bit from Illinois are product design, our animal science for pre-vet students, our education programs, interior design, and of course our Carlson School of Management. Like a good big school, we have a lot of opportunities for you all to get involved on campus. We have 900 student organizations, a massive study abroad program. So we can send you to over 60 different countries through 200 different program types, pretty much anywhere in the world. If you want to go for a week, a month, a whole year, the choice is up to you. In fact, our business school requires that you study abroad. So we really encourage you to check out the study abroad program if you're interested in it. Now, most of our students choose to live on campus their first year. If you have family and friends in the area who did want to live off campus right away, you certainly could. We have a neighborhood that's around us. We often see our second, third, and fourth year students exploring Dinkytown or Stadium Village because those are the neighborhoods that really give us that college town feel. They have affordable student housing options. It's where your favorite coffee shop is going to adjust their hours around finals, where the homecoming parade goes through. So again, you're still getting that Big Ten college town feel, but you are in that urban environment, which is really what makes us stand out against our peers. The urban environment and the resources that we have there can help provide you academic and career success right away. There are 16 Fortune 500 companies now headquartered in Minnesota, so places like Target, 3M, Cargill, Medtronic, Boston Scientific are constantly recruiting out of our program, and our location allows you to intern on a Tuesday and Thursday, so to still go to class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Minneapolis, St. Paul, while certainly a little bit smaller than Chicago, still offers a lot of great options for you to explore, whether that's the 6 professional sports teams, the theaters that are on or around campus, like the Guthrie Theater, or just exploring some of the eclectic neighborhoods, checking out the food scene, and enjoying the Minnesota winters. The chain of lakes runs right through Minneapolis, so the same place you can go biking and kayaking in the summer, you can go ice fishing and snowmobiling in the winter. We do work to be a great value institution, so I want to be transparent about our tuition and fees. If you do choose to apply, you're going to be automatically considered for all academic merit-based scholarships through the Office of Admission. These range anywhere from $2,500 and they go up to $15,000. That's each year for all 4 years. Now, we've been named a great value institution by a couple of prints. That's largely due to the 2 numbers you see at the top. The first is our retention rate. 93% of our first-year students come back their second year. We're really proud of that. And 71% of our students get out in 4 years. Now, if you're interested in the University of Minnesota for applying, it's fairly straightforward. And the information tends to be the same year to year in terms of what we require. We just need the application itself through the Common or the Golden Gopher application, a $55 application fee, and then self-report your grades and courses. So no letters of recommendation, no essays, and no test scores required for fall 2022 again. So if you have a test score you want to submit, great. If not, no problem. You're still full consideration for admission, for honors, and for scholarships. Our 3 deadlines typically don't change year to year. They all have equal consideration, but if you're interested in nursing, be sure to get it in by that November 1st deadline. That is all I have for you. Here's my contact information. I'll throw it in the chat as well. But thanks so much for having me here. Sorry, struggling to unshare my screen. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all our presenters. I really appreciate all the conversation that you've had for our panelists. And I do want to open up for a couple of questions. So if I could have the representative from Denison University answer to our audience, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
There's so many directions I could take this. I think one thing that I would really say is if you are applying to a school that maybe has a more selective admission process, be a hand raiser. Demonstrated interest plays a big part in a lot of colleges in their search process or how we kind of make admission decisions. So engage with us through virtual events, open our emails, reply to our emails. If we're visiting your high school, either in person or virtually, if you can be there, awesome. Even if you can stop by for 30 seconds, that's extremely helpful. It's just nice to put a face and a name together, especially when it comes to reviewing your application. If we can say, hey, we met this student, they're super interested, we had a great conversation, that goes a long way. So that's for Denison, but I would also encourage that any school that's on your list that you're interested in, the more you can say, hey, I'm here, I'm interested, the better it is for your application come that cycle.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that advice, Denison. Now, if I can have my rep from Dickinson College.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that we're in a really unique time. None of you imagined that your college search would look like this. But I think what's really cool is that we're in this unique moment where you are listening to 6 different schools in different states, in different cities. And so I think really capitalize on the opportunity virtually, because you can really solidify a really solid list. Then whenever you're able to go visit, you can return to a more confident college list. So even though virtual is not ideal, it's a really cool opportunity, and definitely maximize on that opportunity.
Thank you so much. Now, if I could have the representative from Kenyon College.
Yeah, I think one big thing to note is that, as you all go through this process, like has been mentioned before, it certainly, there's new curveballs that you all are encountering with the college search process. It's certainly hard enough as is, but in the midst of a pandemic, it might be harder. And so I think one thing to think about is, all of the important people in your life as you're going through this, whose opinions you value, make sure that you listen to those opinions and make sure you're communicating with those people in your life, because they can oftentimes provide valuable insight to you that you might not necessarily be thinking about. And so I think that's one thing to kind of keep in mind is keep your doors open in that way as you move through the process. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Our representative from Miami University, is there anything else to add?
Yes, hi, sorry. The one thing I would say, and this isn't the most exciting piece of advice, but one thing we found this year at Miami is applications are up. We're seeing more students apply to Miami than in years past. And what's become really important for students who are getting in is deadlines. Pay attention to those deadlines. Make sure that if you are applying to a selective program, like a special business school or a special physical therapy program or something, make sure you're meeting deadlines. When you have more applicants, it tends to be harder to narrow down the pool when we're on the college side. And so making sure that you're doing everything as a student to meet the deadlines, to meet, if a student or if a school asks for rec letters, you send rec letters, if they don't, you don't. Follow directions and meet deadlines. It's going to be really important in the coming years.
Thank you so much for that. And DePauw University, anything else to add?
Yeah, really quick. The one thing I would suggest is it's okay to have questions. Applying to college can be a confusing, long process. We all don't include our contact information for you guys not to reach out. So please take advantage of sending us an email, giving us a call. We are here to help you navigate this process. So please ask any questions at any moment, because again, I know it might seem early, but August will be here before we know it. And then it will be November and January. And we just want to do everything we can to answer your questions and help you through the process. Whether you end up choosing our institution or not, that's okay. We want to make sure that we find a good fit for you. So don't be afraid to reach out to any of us.
Thank you so much for that. And for the audience, you all can tell there's a lot of head nods on this side, because all the advice that's being given out right now is very valuable. And I do want to wrap it up with our last institution, with the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Is there anything else to add?
Sure. I would just echo what everyone says. And my big advice in taking all of this into account is find a way to stay organized. I'm a big Sheets or Excel person, but as you're listening to these presentations, mark down things you like, what you don't like, tuition, deadlines, contact information. That will really help keep you organized. Maybe it's not sheets, maybe it's note cards, but with all this information and so much going on, if you can find a way to keep that organized, it's not only going to help you kind of narrow down your choices, but also make sure that you don't miss those important deadlines for programs or scholarships as the time comes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And we have about 1 minute left. So if I could have 2 panelists volunteer to just answer, what is the favorite event or tradition on campus? It can be any panelist, just go ahead and unmute yourself. No worries there.
I was just going to say my favorite event is our Spring Jam event. It's kind of like homecoming, but in the spring. It's typically when the weather's warming up, so Minnesota's thawing out. We host a bunch of bands, all the way from Battle of the Bands for our students to big names. If you're interested, we have people like Lizzo. It's just a really nice way to let loose, and then you buckle down for finals a couple weeks later.
Great. Well, it seems like we'll wrap it up there, folks. I just want to stop and say thank you so much for joining us today, anywhere from the panelists to the audience. And whenever you close out this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you could provide. This is the last session for this fair, so thank you so much for joining us today. And in about a week, you can have this session available in a recording. All you have to do is visit strivescan.com/Fair Blazers. And thank you all, and have a great day.